In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to adjust timeline size in DaVinci. If you want a better view of your timeline while editing, this is a very simple adjustment that can make a big difference in how comfortable and efficient your workflow feels. Sometimes the timeline area can look a little too small, especially if you're working with several clips, audio layers, or just want more room to see what you're doing clearly. The good news is that resizing it only takes a moment. To begin, go to your timeline in DaVinci. Make sure you're in the editing workspace where the timeline is visible on screen. This is the section where your video clips, audio clips, and edits are laid out from left to right. Once you're there, look closely at the top edge of the timeline panel. This edge acts like a resizable border. When you move your cursor over that upper edge, you can click and drag to change the size of the timeline area. Now simply click the top edge of the timeline, then drag it upward or downward depending on what you need. If you drag it up, you'll usually create more space for the timeline, which can help if you want a larger and easier to read editing area. If you drag it down, you'll reduce the timeline size and make more space for other panels on your screen. This is especially helpful if you're switching between different tasks while editing. For example, sometimes you may want a larger preview or more room for the media panels, and other times you may want the timeline to take up more of the screen so you can focus on detailed cuts and timing. Being able to quickly adjust the size gives you more control over your layout without changing anything complicated in the settings. And that's it. That's how you adjust the timeline size in DaVinci. It's a small change, but it can really improve the editing experience by making your workspace feel more organized and easier to use. If you're following along, try dragging the timeline edge a couple of times until you find a layout that feels comfortable for your project. The best size really depends on your screen space and the type of editing you're doing. Once you get used to this, it'll become one of those quick little adjustments you make without even thinking about it while editing.